Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
Okay, people, we got some news flashes here today. Some of you folks out there, I don't know if you all don't watch this daggone thing called the Breakfast Club very much. But the other day, they had one of my favorite people on. I don't know. I guess she still thinks that they have a little power left out there. But old JC showed up on the Breakfast Club, Jasmine Crockett. She
Ooh,
had a whole hell of a lot to say on the Breakfast Club. And the guy and the young lady over there, I don't know where DJ Envy is at. Every time I watch that show, I don't ever see him anymore. Maybe he's doing like Angela Yee did and trying to find his own show. I don't know. But I guess the guy can handle it by himself along with the young lady who was there. Anyway, newsflash, people. One of the things that about at the end of the interview, they asked JC, Jasmine, because you know Jasmine, she got to talk and she's gonna tell the truth. She's gonna tell what's going on. They asked her since the redistricting happened there in Texas and it's been passed by the legislature, and she's right now currently in the 30th district. So with the redistricting, they have moved her district out of where she lives at. Well, in Texas, you don't have to live in the district in which you serve, which you are the representative for. They, for whatever reason, they allowed that to happen, but it's going on. So they asked her, was she going to run in the 33rd district in which her home is at, or she was going to go to the 30th district outside of where she lives at? Because she said she's not moving. She said, well, I might go to the 30th district, but Jasmine threw in a real bomber. She says, I might run for federal office in the Senate.
she's thinking about running for the Senate.
She's thinking about making a run at the Senate, people.
Mm.
She's thinking about making a run at the U.S. Senate seat. And she says, from what she polling that she has done, she thinks she's got a pretty good chance of getting that seat.
Mm.
But she has until December to decide because she has to file by December. So in the next couple of months and everything, I guess we're going to find out for sure what
That's
she.
going to be at least $20 to $30 million.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's minimum.
Ted, she threw out another bombshell. She is the top money raiser in Congress right now, black
Mm.
person in the House. She raises more money in the House than any other representative in the House right now, currently. So I guess last quarter she raised something like $4 million. So She might have that money, power, and stuff behind her. Don't know for sure. Most of the folks and stuff think that the current senator and everything may not get out of the primary. Because old Ken Paxton and stuff, he's a dirty, rotten rascal and everything, but the Republicans love him. He's the attorney general for the state of Texas right now, and he's running for the Senate seat. So she's pretty sure that if Ken Paxton and stuff and everything gets that Republican nomination and stuff and gets out of the primary, that she can probably beat him. She says her polling and stuff is showing some real good numbers for her. And I was surprised she said that. And they asked her about her, was she upset about the fact that they threw her out of that seat and everything to be the oversight committee ranking committee member. And she said, yes, it bothered her a little bit, but she had to go along with the Democratic leadership and what they said. And she said that sometimes the Lord doesn't want you to take some things and stuff, so he takes it away from you. So she believes that it was the will of the Lord and stuff not to let her have that seat. So he's got something else out there for her, and that's when she brought up the fact that she was running for the Senate. And all those folks, Ted, have been ghosting my boy in New York in the mayoral race. Democrats have been running away from him like he was poison ivy. Well, yesterday, two Democratic leaders and stuff said that they were going to back him for the mayor of New York. One of them was the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. She said she's going to back that boy up. And somebody who's not even in New York, Van Hollen, who was a senator from Maryland, also said, I'm backing him up. And I don't know why some of these other Democrats aren't backing him up right now. So he's throwing out that gauntlet to old Hakeem and to Schumer and to Kristen Gillibrand, who is the other senator from the state of New York. A lot of stuff going on out there, Ted. But girlfriend, they asked her about some real touchy things and everything, and she didn't open her mouth about who was the ones who were not doing their job and everything. But she said there are some Democrats and stuff who are in power who aren't really doing their job. They aren't voicing their opinion. They aren't standing up, and people are very, very upset with them because of that. And I'm pretty sure one of them was her minority leader. She didn't say it. She said, I can't put no names down. But there are some people there and everything in the house and everything who a lot of folks are not happy about because they are not exercising their power.
Well, when you're taking money from
AIPAC.
billionaires and AIPAC, you can only do so much.
You're going to do something up.
So, they control you.
That's it. That's it. And girlfriend. And down across the southern border is creating all kind of havoc down there, quietly creating havoc. She's saying that she's been making overtures to China and to Brazil, and she's thinking seriously about taking her country into the BRICS nation, joining their coalition. They asked her, was it true? And she said, all options are on the table, are open. She never said no. She said, options on the table are open. Because we're finding out for the last 2 months that she's been talking with Yao Xingping from China and also to my boy down there in Brazil, who was the president.
Well, they like-minded anyway. Here's the thing, though, bro. We already know for the last year or more, China's been sneaking their stuff over there and doing manufacturing, and they got storage houses all over Mexico.
And
So,
they've been going to Venezuela. They've been
yep.
they've been in Venezuela and stuff, making some deals in Venezuela. And when Trump and them shot down that boat and everything, China came up and said, "Hey, you better watch it."
Well, you know, think about this. And I'm talking to y'all, because I done said this before. $4.8 trillion have been given out to help the foreign people around the world. I wouldn't doubt that half of that went to Israel. I wouldn't doubt it.
Probably.
Now, if not more, because they always got their hand out to at least three to $4 billion every year. So now the thing is that right now who's running America? Because obviously we are in control, because when we tell BB to stop bombing and massacring, killing all these people, he ain't listening. But yet and still we helping them get arms. We sending them arms. They need our armament. I'm just trying to figure it out, bro. I'm saying, who's in charge? Who's running this ship? Because it must not be America.
Trump thinks that he is doing his job and running it, but people out there, the European Union has just told Trump that they're not going to be messing with them damn tariffs anymore. We ain't got no deal at all. Even the one that girlfriend said that she was trying to negotiate with him, they have thrown that shit out the window. And the reason why they have done it is because Trump is not coming over there. He's part of NATO, and you saw what happened in Poland.
Yep.
Them daggone Russians went over there and sent some drones into their airspace. And they pissed off about it, because when they asked Trump about it, he said, well, maybe it was a mistake. It was a mistake to him when they came over there, flew over Poland. They said it was a mistake. Ain't nobody over there in the European Union believe that. They don't. And they're looking at him as they can't. The realization that the United States is not going to come to their aid is coming crystal clear to them. It was kind of cloudy, but it's getting crystal clear that he ain't coming to their aid.
Let me just tell you this. I saw a report this morning, and he was similar to like a Secretary of State or something similar to that title. They're ready. They said they've been building up their armament. They've been buying some of the finest equipment from Americans. They spend 5% of their GDP on military readiness. They got 40,000 soldiers, volunteers that's going to be coming aboard. They already had a military. So they are ready for whatever Russia's going to do. And if Russia, because there was 21 of those drones, which didn't, by the way, he said that they didn't have any kind of explosive devices, but they were, whatever they landed, it didn't harm anything or whatever. But they're ready. They're ready for war, bro. And they said, we have NATO with us. They're ready. So they put the word out to Russia, say, hey, if you come here, expect something. Because we got our F-35s, and whatever other, helicopters. They got their black helicopters. They got all that stuff. And they ready. So the thing is that there's two countries over there. I forget the two names, but they the people that run that, they run it like Putin. Authoritarian. They however they run it like Putin. The thing is that in my opinion, when you don't have the United States collaborating and connecting in partnership with all our partners, there's something wrong with this picture, bro. What is our Republican senators thinking? We saw it was just on the news today. 48. They're getting ready to make a vote on 48 of Trump's things, flat out. 48 of them nominees. What is wrong with these people, man? Something is up, bro. I'm telling you. I don't know. I guess they're expecting something. I don't know, but this is not good.
Well, they have capitulated to him. The Republicans in the House and the Senate have decided that he is their leader, and whatever the hell he says, they're going to do it. Whatever he wants, they're going to do it. They aren't putting up any opposition at all. None of them. Whatever he tells them to do, they do it. He's the president, and we're going to do whatever he tells to do. Now, some of them are saying, or even some of the Democrats are saying, that they are doing this and stuff and everything because they are afraid of him. They are afraid that if they do anything against him, that something's going to happen to them, whether they threaten their families or they threaten their livelihood or whatever. That's what they are saying. I don't know if it's true or not. It may be true. Knowing Trump, it probably could be true that he's threatening them people, and they are afraid of him, and they are giving him whatever he wants. With anything that he says he wants, they are giving it to him, Ted, because as you can see, every last one of his cabinet people that he put before them, I don't care how stupid and crazy they are, they voted for him to go. They appointed them. They voted for them to go. And the worst thing in the world, Ted, for that to happen and stuff and everything, because of what they're doing, they have weakened our country so bad that these people aren't qualified for their jobs. They're not qualified. So if anything happened, any disaster happened, or anything out there in the world happened, they are not capable of leading their cabinet. If something happens there as far as defense, they aren't capable of dealing with it. If something happens out there with anything that goes on, they're not capable of doing it. The Department of Justice, they're not capable. The FBI, they're not capable. They got incapable leaders. We saw that. They can't even get a gunman. Just, it's horrible. It's horrible. They can't even. The man had to turn himself in because they couldn't find him. You got to be kidding me. That's the FBI, man. We can't depend on them for nothing. I'm telling you, it is horrible. Absolutely horrible that that this stuff happened to them. So we are in dire trouble. And Ted, you can't follow somebody and do not question at least what the hell they're doing, or have some kind of a backup of saying, well, Mr. President, why don't we try this? Or, Mr. President, why don't we try something else and everything? Something else might work. Most of them people, and you saw them sitting around those tables and stuff, and the first thing they all doing, yes, Mr. President, you are great. You are doing all the great things. And he's sitting around there sucking it all up. There's nobody in the world who's that great. Nobody. There's not.
Well,
so
the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, it's in the pudding.
We already see that the shit is going to hell.
It's going to hell. And they all are sitting there following him around lockstep. He can't say or do anything bad at all. Now, you know daggone well, Ted, that what happened with this RFK Jr. and stuff and everything, and how they embarrassed him and stuff sitting up there at the Senate subcommittee and everything, that he should have been gone and lost his job. Trump left him there. I'm fine with him. He is okay. And you haven't heard any of them Republicans and stuff, even though they said something against them, they have not opened their mouth and said a word about getting that man fired. He needs to be gone. You need to get him out of there, Trump.
So they're you know, if anybody transpire or you know, it's on the blood is on their hands.
It is. It's all on their hands. And we're seeing it, Ted, with the unemployment numbers and stuff. They're hiding these numbers from the American people. These folks out there, Ted, are losing their jobs. The auto industry, people are being laid off left and right. The unemployment rate is going up. And he's hiding the numbers. He's hiding the figures. These people out there getting unemployment compensation because they have been laid off. These companies and stuff are leaving. Ford has moved a lot of their stuff into Canada. We're taking our stuff into Canada. We can't afford to stay here. Anybody, Ted, that is that daggone stupid to allow your immigration folks to raid a plant that has South Koreans sitting down there, and they have been getting ready to invest or have already invested billions of dollars into that plant, and they raided them, locked them up, put handcuffs on them, shackled those kids. And it took them,
right quick.
Yeah, it took them a whole week and everything to get them people back there. And the South Koreans are pissed off, Ted. They ain't coming. They said, we ain't coming back over here. We ain't coming back.
We do a lot of business with South Korea.
Yes, sir.
And didn't he add 50% tariff on them?
Yeah, try to.
You know, I'm gonna change the subject, just lighten it up a little bit. You know, at this point, there's a lot of people like ourselves telling the truth as we see it, and then we bring receipts. We have evidence of what's going on. And at the same time, our people right now, as a whole, man, is just sitting back and doing nothing. Now, to say they're doing nothing, that's a lie, because some of them are organizing under the table, behind closed doors, in private rooms. And they're trying to figure out strategies, and I'm sure of that. I can guarantee you that. A lot of people are quiet. A lot of people trying to figure out this too will pass. And like Joy Reid said, it's up to the white folks.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't realize what time it is, they're gonna allow these other people that's running this shit burn this place down. Because right now, we have basically no safety nets as far as security, protecting this country for foreign and domestic enemies, the people that's inside this country that want this country to be destroyed. And then you have Americans who's supposed to be Americans want this country and try to take it. And if they can't run it like they want to, they'll allow it to burn down. Because the one thing they're not going to do, They are not going to let black folk run this country anymore. They'd rather for it to burn down. If you look at the history, the reason why we have never only had, I'm talking about in the last 100 years, a governor, we had one governor from Virginia. Now we got another governor in Maryland. And we have other people that's talking about running for governorship. The question is that you have to realize that over 150 million people in this country have not been in this country more than 70 years. Over 150 million people have not been in this country for over 150 years. 70 years, obviously. All you got to do is do the numbers. When I was a kid, 11, 12, 13 years old, I used to read a lot of bios, and it was a lot of, the ones that I really loved was Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, Roy Campanella, you name it. I was reading all the bios. Those back in the early 60s. There was a lot of bios written by these great athletes and a few black famous people. And the one thing that I found out, Jesse Owens, all of them got in trouble with taxes. That was designed. That was designed to take their money, to take their heritage, because they were using their money to help the black community. They was making way more than the average worker. And so they invested their money. Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson used to open up storefronts to help black people and just dole out money to people. I need $100 for my light bill. I need $200 or $300 to pay for my rent. I'm trying to keep my house. Can you help me? And they would just give out money. But the thing is, they came after Moses. They came after Muhammad Ali. They came after Jesse Owens. They came after Joe Louis. Taxes. Now I look at today people, and they got all these financial gurus, and they handling their money. They worth $200 million, and hey, as long as I got my little spending money and I'm okay, and I'm still making $30, $40 million a year, and my taxes being paid, everything. But don't try to help no black folks with that little money you got. So right now, black people right now, we don't know what's going to happen to us. Because if we got 20,000 or 50,000, whatever it is, millionaires, a million millionaires, and they're not giving back, we're in trouble, because that's what we're gonna need. I'm talking about helping these black folks, because I find it very strange, as far as I'm concerned, that over 50% of the homeless people, black. over 50% of foster care people black. Over 50% of the people that's in prison and in jail, black. There's no outrage on this head. None. None. So we got all these churches, all these millionaires, and we has allowed, and we got a lot of nonprofit organizations that can help people, but they need money. A lot of people out there are helping, trying to help people too, but they need money. So time will tell if, and don't know athletes or entertainers, they don't want to keep being pulled, keep on people. All they want to do is ask for money, ask for money, ask for money. Nobody want to hear that. And I can appreciate that. But the point is that somewhere down the line, these multimillionaires is going to have to reach back and give to the black community.
They ain't going to do that. They're not going to do that.
You can't keep going. You can't keep coming back to your community. What you going to do? Move all your family out of the black community into the white community?
They're not going to do that. They are not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're not. They are not going to do that. They would rather take their money and give it to them poor folks up there in Appalachia than they would be you come over there to the black community and give them a quarter. That's how they feel about them.
What make you say that?
It's true. They'd rather give their money to them folks up there in the Appalachian Mountains or whatever they got, them poor folks in Kentucky Hills or whatever, than to give it to the black community. And I'll say that, Ted, and I'll say that with a whole lot of convictions and stuff and everything, because I think as a people that we have more opportunity than anyone does in this country. We do. We have more money that comes through our hands in our community than a whole lot of other ethnic groups and stuff in this country. First thing we need to do is look in the damn mirror. What can I do to help myself? And if you read the Bible and everything, say God help those who help themselves.
The Bible don't say that, bro.
Get up off your tail and do something to help yourself. Help yourself first. Get up off your tail. Do something. We have the ability, Ted, in our community. Half of those people who were sitting up there in the prison system and everything, these people are absolutely smart. They have the knowledge to do anything that they want to do. But they prefer to take their talents and stuff and everything for robbing somebody with a gun or stealing from their own people or beating their own folks up. We need to help ourselves. I think we are not doing enough to help ourselves. That's my thing. And that's why I'm saying that, and a lot of other people out there and stuff understand the same thing. They need to help themselves. They have the opportunity to do it. Now, we spoke about this lots of times. We are telling our community and stuff, your children are your future. You have to get out there and do whatever it takes to make sure that they get an education. Join the school board. Go out there with the PTA and help protect your daggone schools and stuff and everything. Build your daggone schools up. The folks around there in the Anglo community, they're building their schools up, but we can't build ours and stuff in our own area because all we want to do and everything is go to work and everything. Sometimes you gotta have to go out there and make sure that your child is educated and they need to do what need to be done. You can't have violence going on in this place of higher learning. You can't have graffiti all on the daggone walls in your place of higher learning. You can't have your teachers and stuff just sitting around there and all they got to do is show up in the classroom and everything and they fine. There's no teaching going on. And we know it. These are your future. You got to educate these kids. And when you educate them and
We can't
give
break
them
that,
something
you
to
know,
do,
you can't break that cycle though. You know, it's hard to break that cycle.
you got to figure out a way how to break it.
I don't know
You
how
have
we're
to
gonna break
figure
it,
out a way
bro.
how to break it. Figure out a way how to break it. Don't keep on making excuses. Well, the white man won't give me what I want. Damn it, we get them. Just like the man said, open the door, God damn it, I'm gonna get it myself.
It's hard to break that cycle. I don't know, you know.
I don't
But
play,
saying that it's
I
an
don't go,
excuse, I'm not,
I
I'm
don't play
not,
along
I'm
with that.
not giving them the excuse. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think what it is that you're talking generations upon generations, 3, 4 generations of really bad behavior. You know, maybe 4 generations. I don't know. But the point is that a lot of people think they're poor. You're not really poor. If you got a roof over your head, you know, you might not have the kind of clothes you want, but you got clothes to put on. You know, and if you know, you might not have the kind of food you want, but you got food to eat. And the thing is, the Bible tells me, be content in all things. What things soever you desire, believe that you receive it. And this right here is not this is a God's law, but really it's a universal law. If you believe that you're going to have something that you're going to receive it, you can charge that thing so that it will happen if that's what you really desire. But the point is that you got to be patient with yourself, whatever that might be. You know, I was patient with myself. The one thing I wanted a college degree. Was I college material? I don't think so. But I worked my ass off to get my little C plus grades. And once in a while I get a B or an A, but most of the time it was a C. But what I'm saying is that I got my college degree. That opened the door for me to get hired working for corporations. And they gave me an opportunity. Then I had to prove myself. The point is, be patient with yourself. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. You know, just like a job, when you first come into a job, 9 times out of 10, unless you got full experience, you're at the entry level. Now it's your job to move up from that entry level and get promotions and look for other jobs so that you can get higher up and make more money. So this is not rocket science, bro. So I don't understand. You know, people want instant gratification. No, it don't happen that way. Now, to some people, it might happen because, there's cronyism, favoritism, and all that stuff. But the point is, just be patient with yourself. And if you ain't got something, so what? You ain't got to go try to take something or steal something or try to con somebody out some money or whatever the case may be. Do without. Then when you start making a little piece of change, then you just, hey, you can do better. Like Oprah always say, when you know better, you do better. But the stupid stuff that I see, like any other teenager, you always want that nice car right away. You want them nice clothes right away. You want, a little money in your pocket right away. But you got to be patient with yourself and say, that's all right. This too will pass. I'll get mine. But you got to keep working. That and the first job you get, the first job I got out of high school, I'm talking about out of high school, was a janitor's job. And I was working for Moon's mama. And I didn't like it, but I did it to make some money. And then I got my second job right out of high school, was working on the plant. Ford or whatever it was, General Motors plant. I didn't like it, but I kept on moving. And then I just kept on and kept on and kept on. The point is, you got to be patient with yourself. And a lot of times you'll be doing without. And I don't understand these young kids. I mean, some of these kids got an advantage now because their parents got, college graduates, and they, or maybe they're doing a little bit better and they can help them out a little bit more, get them a car and all that. Hey, my parents didn't give me no damn car. I had to buy my own damn cars. But nowadays, these parents buying their kids cars when they graduate from high school, give them $1,000 and all that kind of stuff. And that's fine. But what I'm saying is, be patient with yourself, especially those people that's, I ain't gonna call you poor. I'm gonna say broke. Your parents broke, you broke. But you can do better. There's no excuse. There is no excuse. I agree with Ed on that point. You just can't go out there and do bad, because that's the easiest thing you can do. Then that's how you get in trouble.
I'm still a little angry, Ted, at my people. I am. I'm very angry at them. Very angry. Still very angry at them. And I'm out there. Give me some time to deal with it, but I'm gonna be over it. But I'm very angry with them. I'm very angry with our folks. They
Me too.
I've been let down too many times by them. I'm telling you, they done let me down too many damn times. I'm angry at my folks. Really am.
You know what I understood?
But
What I understood, not only because a lot of us, our parents came from the South to the Midwest, and they worked hard and did the best they could, and and that's fine. However, when you start going to school and taking classes in economics and all that, you learn about the class system. And there's different kinds of class. There's income class, there's social class, there's all those different kinds of classes. The thing is what kind of person, who are you? What kind of person are you? Are you a decent citizen? Are you a hard worker? Are you striving to, whatever profession that you have, to be the best you can be? And a lot of people don't get that training. You know, a lot of people didn't get that discipline, Ed. You know, a lot of people didn't get that teaching. My parents taught me a lot of things. Before I left that house at 18, I was well prepared, bro. Well prepared. Because they taught me, they talked to me. Yeah, I was a knucklehead for a while, but the bottom line is that the Bible tells us, train up a child the way you want them to go, and they'll never depart. And that's the truth. If you teach that child as they're growing up, they'll never lose those teachings. I know you got a lot of sayings that your parents taught you, and they'll never leave you. Because I still say the same things that they say that help me get through. So obviously the parents don't take the time to train up these children. And that's who I fault.
That's
You
my
have
point.
babies.
That was
You
my
have
point.
babies. You have babies, and you don't spend the time to talk to them. And a lot of parents do it. I don't care what situation they're in. They can be broke and barely getting by, but a lot of parents do teach their kids. But it's the environment. You got peer pressure. That's the issue. There's a
Well,
whole lot of factors in there.
you just made my point. We are not doing enough, as our folks are not doing enough, that people that we give our children and stuff every advantage that we can give them. And when we don't do that, the only time that they're going to show up is when they're standing before the judge and he's getting ready to sentence them. And we're crying, please don't send my child to jail. Where were you at when your child woke up in the morning, didn't give him anything to eat, sent him to school hungry, didn't follow up on his homework, didn't make sure that they had the resources they needed and stuff and everything to educate themselves, or to give them something to do. And we all know this and stuff, Ted. You had to work.
Yeah.
You had to work.
Yep.
Even at 9 and 10 years old,
Yep.
you had a job. You had chores to do. And we were prepared when we got ready to leave because we knew what we had to do and everything because we went out there into the world and you had to find you a job. You had to work. My parents didn't look for me no job. Ed looked for his own job.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't even depend on them getting me back and forth to work.
No, so they didn't care. You walked out the house, you get the law. Hey, you get back home safe. That's the only thing they told us. Get back home safe. And if the police stop you, it's y'all, sir, no, sir, I can plow, sir, I can hoe, sir, because you need to get home instead of being shot or them locking you up and putting you into their prison system. Because once you get in there, it's hard as hell to get the hell out of there.
There you go.
Hard as hell to get out. So
And,
sometimes,
I credit sports for me. I don't know about you, but sports kept me out of trouble, helped me keep out of trouble anyway. I mean, I still get in some stupid stuff, but still, sports helped me a lot.
And
because I was always busy.
And everybody can't be a sports person and stuff and everything. That's why they have fine arts. Maybe you can play an instrument. Maybe you can do some other things and stuff to keep your mind, because the idle mind is the devil's workshop. We can do that. Your mind was idle, the devil was working overtime.
There it is. All right, bro. I understand my piece.
Okay.
What else you
Now,
got?
okay. Uh, I I watched a program yesterday after we had gotten off of our show. There was this young man who has a podcast. He's out of the UK, and he was talking to one of the fund managers and stuff from Wall Street, the big time fund manager from Wall Street, and he was asking him questions about the United States and what he thought about our success and how what's going on and stuff with our country. And he said that there are four different things that are causing us to fail right now. One of them was education. The education system and stuff has fallen down. He talked about the income and stuff of that top percentage and stuff, them people who making $1 billion or $1 million or more, $100 million or more, they up in that echelon up there. And he talked about the folks who was in that other class and stuff, and that the middle class is fading away. It is going away. And that's our power is in that middle class, and it's slowly shrinking. When that middle class goes away, we're going to have total failure. Somebody got to buy the product that these people are producing, whether they're iPhone or whatever it is. Somebody got to be out there to do it. And they got to make enough money to keep the system going. If it's not that way, then
They
he
say
said
that the
something.
middle class has dropped down
Yeah,
to 47%, bro. It used to
yeah,
be in
yeah,
the 60s.
yeah. And he said something and stuff that man was devastating that I did not look at. He says that 60% of our country hasn't got more than a sixth grade education.
What? Now he's lying about that. That ain't true. 60% is
60%. He said they may have went through school and got a high school education, but their level of learning or whatever is a sixth grade level.
that's hard to believe because when I was in seventh grade, I took tests and I had a ninth grade reading level then.
That was you. You said right now in this country.
That is crazy. You would think that's woo, that is horrible.
It threw me for a loop.
How could that happen?
He threw me for a loop. It
How
threw
could
me
that
for a
happen?
loop. He said, and the guy acting said, well, he said even that yes, they probably did. They just passed them on through and let them get a diploma, high school diploma, and that was it. But they are at a sixth grade education level.
Wow.
Bad. Anyway, I had to bring that out to you because it shocked me when he said that, and I had
That
to
is
think
a
about
shock,
that.
bro.
I had to think about that for a long time,
You know,
and
when a person
and
that is scholarly
and,
that says something like that, you got to kind
and
of take notice.
yeah, and he said that most of those folks who was in that class and stuff were the ones who put that man into the White House.
Ooh, yeah.
He said most of them who was in that group put that man in that White House. Final word, brother.
I'm gonna make a suggestion to any of my, if anybody run across this, pick up some biographies, read some stories of other people's life stories and the challenges that they went through to become successful. To me, that was some of the greatest learning that I learned when I read tons of biographies. I got a bunch of them right over here in my bookshelf. Tons of biographies. And you'll see the struggles that people went through to get where they got. Some of them very successful. Read some biographies. You know, it might be boring for a while. You know, I've read about maybe 3 or 4 biographies of Abraham Lincoln. You know, and you know the challenges that he went through, the failures that he went through, the self-taught that he did, the study that he did to make himself a lawyer. All he was a lumber person. That's all, basically. So I'm just saying, you know, I mean, if you want to, you know, you sometimes you're not gonna have somebody to hold your hand. You can read about other people's stories and say, hey, I can do that. If he can do it or she can do it, I can do it. Read other people's biographies. Because it's amazing how people meet those challenges. You know, some of them don't have a mother or a father. Some of them have a mother. Some of them have a mother and a father and uneducated or whatever, and they end up becoming scholars. I'm just saying. That's my last word. Read some biographies.
All while you was sitting there talking, my mind was going 1,000 miles an hour, is what I should say here. And the only thing I could come up with one thing. When I was about in my 30s and stuff, I guess, and I was talking to some of these folks out there in school who just got out of school, who were going through, and we were tutoring folks and everything and putting forth tutoring programs and educating kids and stuff. And I coach football and everything, and I use the same philosophy and everything that I used when I was in the classroom and stuff. You know, this is how you teach kids and stuff and everything, that everybody has value. And I always looked at my team at the beginning of the year. I asked the guys and stuff, said, what do you want to do? And everybody wanted to be a running back or a quarterback. They all wanted to be a running back. I want to be a running back. I'll be a running back. I'll be a running back. And I grabbed the boys, and I know who the running back, because I can look at them and tell who the running back going to be. And I know that some of them kids who want to be a running back ain't nowhere in the world they're going to be a running back. So what I did was I told my coaches and stuff, my assistant coaches and stuff, that you take care of all the skill players up there, you know, the wide receivers and their thing. But all the boys that I know who are going to have to do some blocking and everything, I bring them over there with me. And the first thing I tell them, you got value. I said, I point toward the running back over there. I said, there's something wrong with him, ain't it? Look at him. Look at him. He's stupid. He's stupid because he can't do crap unless you do what? Unless you open that hole up for him. Unless you open up, you guys on that line, you all are just as valuable as he is. You have to open up the holes for this guy. If you don't, I don't care how fast he is or how smart he think he is and everything. If you don't block for him, he ain't gonna get a yard. And they looked at me, and every game, time they had a good block, I went and holler at the running back. Hey, good block, my brother. Good block, good block. So there's value in them. And they had to learn that no matter who you are or what you do, you have to understand your value. You can be a poor person. You got value. Once you learn that, then you're going to be okay. Find some value in yourself, no matter what you are. You can be making $7 an hour. There's some value there. If you out there and your job is to go and cut that man's grass and make it look good. Make sure it's nice and trimmed up. Make sure everything is nice. Everything is cut just right. All the edges and everything is nice and sharp and looks good and everything. So when you walk away and everything, I did that. There's some value there in whatever you do. If you dig in the ditch, there's value in digging the ditch. Understand that. Okay, that's all I got to say. Talk to you people tomorrow. Bye-bye.